Welcome back to another episode of ROC Boys Football. We are back with a 2022 NFL first-round mock draft by yours truly. Collaborative effort. Both the ROC Boys put our brains together. Came around with a first-round mock draft. Again, if you guys like the content, watching the channel, like, subscribe. We appreciate all the support you guys have been giving us. And let's get into the mock. Aidan Hutchinson, number 1 overall pick. Obviously, Dylan and I both big Michigan football fans. He's the best player on the board. I think Jacksonville needs a culture change. Aidan Hutchinson is the guy to do it. Second pick. Dylan, I'm going to kick this one off to you. Kyle Hamilton, what's your motivation for going and getting a safety, ignoring the analytics, and taking Kyle Hamilton at number 2?
Second, you could argue he's the best player in the draft. That's at the end of the day, if you boils down to who's impact guys, he's an impact guy. Yeah, his position is what it is. I mean, I know we had a video arguing whether it's true, and I obviously disagree on this. Don't draft safeties. I think safeties have been impactful and they're really good. So
this is a little bit of a nightmare scenario. I really think Detroit is pulling for Aidan Hutchinson to be there at 2.
That does put them in a bad spot for sure, because it's like you can't take another tackle. And I think Kayvon's a great pick personally, because I think people are sleeping on him hard, and I don't get it totally. But if they pick Kyle Hamilton, wouldn't complain.
What are your thoughts on trading down if Aidan Hutchinson is not there, or drafting Malik Willis?
Yeah. No, I don't. I think Malik, that's too high. And I don't mind trading down. I still think you'd take either Kayvon or Kyle. I still think.
Yeah, I'm not a huge.
Those two are so good.
I'm not a huge Malik Willis guy, number 2 to the Lions either. I've had a lot of discussion with the Lions. I think they have a lot of holes in their roster that they need to fill before thinking about getting a quarterback. And it really boils down to just be patient. You have a massive selection here, and you have some phenomenal players to pick from. Kayvon Thibodeaux, Kyle Hamilton. Don't rush the quarterback. You guys might have one more down here, but it'll be so fruitful next year when you have a top 3 pick and you can get like a Bryce Young, a CJ Stroud, the quarterback class, who are, in my opinion, are eons better than Malik Willis. Malik Willis won't find success in Detroit right now. It's not a good enough roster. I get it. You want to go get the quarterback early, but I think you gotta pass. Neal, I think the Houston Texans need to address that offensive line if they want to build around Davis Mills. Neal is the best guy to do so. And then Kayvon Thibodeaux to 4. I think the Jets, they want Kyle Hamilton. I think it's the best fit. I think that's the best case scenario for the Jets to get Kyle Hamilton. But you said it best. Kayvon Thibodeaux is probably the next best player on the board. And the Jets go get him there. Giants.
These are chalky picks. It's pretty obvious that these two are doing it.
Chalk.
Not much to say in my opinion. They're just going.
Obviously, the ROC Boys like Charles Cross a little bit better. That being said, I think sticking Icky at right tackle, Andrew Thomas at left tackle, the Giants really solved that offensive line problem. Jermaine Johnson, obviously a ROC Boy favorite. But what we really want to get to is this 8 and 9 pick. The Falcons trade away Matt Ryan. They need a core. I mean, Marcus Mariota's there on a 2-year deal. How do you feel about Malik Willis going up and getting picked by the Falcons?
Yeah, I think that 2-year deal is pretty much saying that they're not planning on having him be the guy for any period. So yeah. I actually the one guy, if you're going to jump up into the top 10 and take a quarterback, it has to be Malik Willis. I like Kenny Pickett in the back half of the first round. But I don't think he's going to be a star on a bad team. Malik Willis has the chance to change it.
And you have both these teams, the Falcons and the Seahawks. They're going full on rebuild pretty much. I mean, the Falcons have a horrible roster. You look at that pass catching unit, and it's an absolute joke outside of Kyle Pitts with Calvin Ridley suspended. I think Malik Willis, for both the Seahawks and the Falcons, is the pick. Now, the Falcons trade away Matt Ryan. What does Seattle need to do? Is it worth trading up inside
they get
that top 8?
If that happens.
What are we doing here?
You're
Seattle. What are you doing there? You've holding that pick 9. Are you letting Malik Willis? Are you just fingers crossed hoping he falls? Are you not really stressing out about it? Hopefully you get another quarterback in maybe next
No,
year.
you got to be stressing. You have to be stressing about
I
it.
agree.
I mean, yeah, if he goes on them if you can get value to trade out of it, like do it. But if not, I think you just, what we kind of did here is just go best available because there's not, I'm trying to think who's going to trade up for that 9th pick.
That's the question with both, even like the Detroit Lions picking at 2. That second overall pick doesn't have the same value it had last year when some of those stud quarterbacks were on the board.
But that's the problem is nobody trades up for anything other than the quarterback, really.
That's what I mean.
Sometimes
so that value is pushed down because what are you going to trade in the number 2 spot to take Malik Willis? I also don't even know about the fit of Malik Willis in Seattle. Pete Carroll's been a guy he wants to bland quarterback. He had Russell Wilson, in his prime, one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and he just refused to unleash him. That's how he's always run his offense in USC and in Seattle. It's always been give me a game manager quarterback, and we're going to win the Super Bowl with a great defense and a run game. And so if Malik Willis is there at 9, I don't even know if Pete Carroll's going to take him because Malik Willis is a guy he's going to put the ball in harm's way sometimes. And he's a guy that you got to let him play a little backyard football, let him get out of the pocket, and let him make some plays. So I don't even know about the fit there.
Yeah, but I guess.
I don't think Malik Willis, not that Seattle has – I don't think Malik Willis is a guy that you trade up for. I think
I think you can trade up into the 6 to 12 range, but there's just no way you're getting up to 2 without giving so much and –
yeah, for quarterback that has
you're just not going to get enough. The teams aren't going to get enough back to move back. I just don't.
The quarterback class next year is looking loaded. So it's those teams that need a quarterback. Maybe it'll have to be one down year for you. So if you're Atlanta, Seattle, Detroit Lions, one down year, then you're having your picks at C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young. If Spencer Rattler can turn around at South Carolina. DJ Uigali, Jaren Hall from BYU. There's a really talented group of quarterbacks.
You look like he at least got 2 who are 1 and 2 overall kind of picks, and Stroud and Bryce. So.
And then it's
you just don't have that in the draft.
Malik Willis is the guy to get what you said. Give up so much capital.
You just can't trade up. Again, I think it's a good pick for the teams in the 8 to really 8 and down.
Again, and if your team, like the Falcons, like the Seahawks, who are trying to rebuild, that's the move. Malik Willis is a guy who I think year 3, year 4 can give you superstar, top 10 quarterback level play, but it will be tough sledding. So if you're a team like the Saints, who are kind of win now, you'll see we have them getting Kenny Pickett, much more of a safer guy. You kind of know what you're going to get. He's going to be a solid guy, a little bit more of a game manager. He's not going to put the ball in harm's way too much. Interesting conversation to have about Malik Willis because I've heard rumors that the Detroit Lions are thinking about taking him at 2. I think that'd be a huge mistake because I think Detroit has one more down year and you have so many holes in that roster. Fill him up with some studs like Kyle Hamilton, a potential generational safety. Interesting conversation. Malik Willis is the oddball. He is I think where Malik Willis goes will tell us a lot about the NFL draft. And how the 2022 NFL draft will play.
Well, then I wonder if Pickett goes top 10 if he goes 2 or something.
I guess in my mind, it's I think people are getting really candied-eyed with the Malik Willis because he's such a good athlete. Because did you see that throw he had at his pro day today?
I don't care. I'm not talking pro day with you.
All I'm saying is he has a ton of arm talent, and he shows it. So
I don't care about the pro day.
There it is, Dale. Just the no fun police shutting down the pro day talk. He hates fun. I mean, what Malik Willis said, the pro day was sick. It was absolutely dope. And Dale, the no fun police.
No, I don't do the pro day. I think it's
no, you don't do fun. That's what you don't do.
It's a fun show.
Derek Stingley. That's more of just a best player available. I think Malik Willis would be an awesome pick there. I don't know about Kenny Pickett, although Pete Carroll might love Kenny Pickett. A guy like Derek Stingley, who's put out the film he's put out in that first year.
Too cold, too wet out there with those small hands, man. Can't go at the
maybe.
He played.
And then the Jets. We have a lot of Jets fans in the comment section. They love Sauce Gardner at 10. I think that's a real possibility. It's also a possibility that he's not there. And so they might have to go Derek Stingley. I think one of the two will be there. You go fire on him.
God forbid you end up with Stingley. Jeez.
That's kind of my thoughts on it. Garrett Wilson at 11. You bring in Carson Wentz, but I think that offense desperately needs a wide receiver too. I think Garrett Wilson can come in and give a little juice. The Ohio State Buckeye duo with Terry McLaurin and Garrett Wilson get it done for the Commanders. And then our friend Trayvon Walker.
They need nudge.
We're going to have a separate pod discussing Trayvon Walker. Our buddy Noah Rockoff, he loves Trayvon Walker. The ROC Boys, not so much. We're going to bring him on tomorrow, and we're going to hash out our differences over a little mock-to-mock draft tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. Chris Olave to the Texans. Fair pick. They need a wide receiver. You want to build around Davis Mills, you got to give him something. Like Nico Collins ain't cutting it. As much as a Nico guy as I am, he's not really a great NFL receiver. He created the least amount of separation yards in the whole league last year or something like that.
You don't want that stat.
That's a PFF. That's a PFF stat for you. Jordan Davis, the battleship. Dill, I know this is kind of right up your alley pick. I also think it's a great fit. Thoughts on JD?
Been calling for it. He's a monster. People don't get that. Yeah, he was out of gas at times in a fast-paced college environment where he was the most active run defender I've ever seen. So it's like, fine, whatever.
So I did a little reevaluation on Trayvon Walker because we're
Trayvon Walker.
Yeah, at Georgia. And I saw Jordan Davis make some extremely athletic. Like when he's playing hard and he has a full gas tank, like he is a game wrecker. He's a phenomenal athlete, like laterally. He's got some just phenomenal feet. I was also trying to get a little Quay Walker film in. When you watch Georgia, sometimes just do it for fun. Sometimes if I'm in a bad mood, I'll just turn on some Georgia defense film and just it'll cheer me up a little bit. George Karlaftis to 15, a little bit of run on the edge guys early. Travon Walker, Jermaine Johnson going. David Ojabo, obviously, with the torn Achilles. The Eagles kind of go get George Karlaftis, Trent McDuffie, two massive position and needs. We're not super high on George Karlaftis. We are very high on Trent McDuffie. I think those are pretty two solid, fair picks. Back up to the top. We're speeding through this a little because we have one more discussion to get to. Devonte Wyatt to the Chargers. You love JD there, correct?
Yeah, I think if they can get him, that's who they get.
And then if they don't get him, I think Devonte Wyatt. Like Devonte Wyatt's another guy who he's a little bit smaller than JD, but his get off, the way he gets going fast at that weight, he's also a very good prospect.
I'm a little less convinced. He's not a high impact guy I didn't feel like in college, but we'll see.
Kenny Pickett to the Saints. Again, getting to that discussion of the Saints still can win and make a run in the playoffs now. They just need a solid quarterback. Kenny Pickett's that smooth sailor.
Yeah, they got Jameis, but I almost feel like the Saints should want to play the Kenny Pickett, no picks, no mistakes, because they're going to be a defensive-led team. Obviously, Jameis got the 2-year deal, so that's kind of saying that's very non-committal.
Probably not.
So I think you can go up and get
Jameis Winston's back on the workout antics. Have you seen the workouts?
He's always.
I know he's back on it though. He's recovered from the ACL or recovering from the ACL. It was an ACL that he tore.
I think so.
But I saw him on like a Bosu ball throwing, like sitting on a Bosu ball, and his trainer was like pushing him around,
knocking him. Yeah, it's just.
Jameis Winston's got some
wild exercises.
It was starting off from it was the draft process, and he was on the cover of Sports Illustrated, and his trainer had a band, and like the band pushed into his stomach, and he looked like a fat man. Brutal. I don't know how they let that happen. Put that on the cover. I think that would have hurt his draft stock pretty hard.
It's a vicious move by the NFL and whoever did it.
Jameson Williams to the Eagles. Just the injury, but he's game-breaking speed. I think you got to give Jalen Hurts another go at it. Then you get real like electric. If you can figure out to kind of crack the Jalen Reagor code, which I'm not very optimistic about, You got some serious speed. You got some serious playmaking ability on that offense. Next conversation that I want to have, the interior offensive lineman. Taking a look at the prospects, Kenyon Green, Zion Johnson, Tyler Linderbaum. For all 3 first-round grades for the ROC Boys. After that, it's like Dylan Parner and then Jamari Salyer. If you consider Darian Kennard an interior lineman, like there aren't that many other great interior offensive linemen to go. So do you think teams like the Steelers, maybe like the Tennessee Titans, like the Dallas Cowboys, who need that interior help, do you think they really press hard to go get an interior offensive lineman in the first round?
To see that's where it gets tough, because do I think like the Cowboys, if they just get a guard who's not like terrible to play left guard,
yes,
is that much better than having a elite Zion Johnson, Linderbaum, Kenyon Green? I don't know that it changes their situation much. The Steelers, I feel like, should probably be thinking we need to get someone to pick that whole culture up, because their offensive line's been really bad for a pretty long time now.
That's why he went.
So they just need somebody who's kind of an alpha dog. I feel like a leader. I think Tyler Linderbaum or Kenyon could be that guy.
So that's the discussion I want. It's a 2-pronged discussion that I'm hitting you with. One, are teams going to reach for that interior offensive lineman because maybe of the drop off? I agree with you. I don't think so. I think that's a guard.
I think you could see the Ravens go after one of them.
Putting in a piece of gum and putting that in. Yes, I agree. I absolutely agree. I think the Ravens are certainly in the market
because they're sliding pretty bad up front. Like they don't look the same that they did with Marshall Yonda in the studs they used to have. So
that being said, that's a very important position to how that offense runs. Now, there's a lot of offenses where, like the Bills, for example, like, they don't need a game-wrecking guard. They don't run the ball downhill that much. They just need a guy who's not going to be like.
You're right. They could use a non-liability, but like you don't need you don't pick a non-liability at the top. The Titans are another team that I think could be very well reaching for a Zion Johnson, where you maybe think he's an early day 2 guy. The Titans very well could be sliding up and getting him.
For a team like the Dallas Cowboys, you might just want to go get a veteran guard who's not going to be a liability, like you mentioned. It's not as important to that offense. And then the second conversation, how do you differentiate the 3? Malone actually hit us up with a text message today. Would you have Tyler Linderbaum, Kenyon Green, or Zion Johnson if you had to pick the 3? My answer was Kenyon Green because I think he has the most influence, and then maybe Tyler Linderbaum. But
it's laughable. It's laughable that you don't have Linderbaum.
That's fair. That's fair. Linderbaum is certainly.
Oh, you coward! You just roll over. Why don't you stand on your
position? I was thinking about it. It could be Tyler Linderbaum. We did the Dallas mock yesterday. Tyler Linderbaum was on the board as well as Kenyon Green. We ended up going Kenyon Green. I'm sleeping at night and I'm thinking, am I really passing up on Tyler Linderbaum?
You're an idiot. Tyler Linderbaum could legit go top 10, and I wouldn't have a problem because I haven't seen a player dominate the college game at their spot like he did in forever.
No,
just straight up.
The flashes.
He's a center, but
Kenyon Green is much more of a mauler. Like that dude. And then if you're discussing Kenyon Green versus Zion Johnson is a blue chip guy. I think he's going to be a guy that if Dallas takes him at 24, he's going to come in at left guard. He's not going to hold anybody. He's going to be solid. You're not going to really hear of him though. Kenyon Green's more of I'm a difference maker. I make difference making blocks. I clear out. Like run holes. You watch Texas A&M film, and he's just a road grader, and so that's why I have Kenyon Green with the slight edge, just because the dude's an absolute nasty mammoth. I mean, he's built like an absolute house.
Yeah, he looks like a better player than Tyler Linderbaum, but when you flip the film on, it's not close. Tyler Linderbaum was the best player I've ever seen in the interior.
Yes. No, I was more talking about the Kenyon Green. I was more talking about the Kenyon Green Zion Johnson discussion, where it's like you probably go Kenyon Green because I think he can be a little bit more of a difference maker than Zion Johnson is.
Oh, but that are people arguing that much?
No,
I feel like everyone has
people are no. People are arguing that Kenyon Green and Zion Johnson, like Zion Johnson has only helped the stock. Like, are you taking Zion Johnson over Kenyon Green at all? Were you even?
Oh, that's crazy. No,
not even close.
No.
Interesting.
It's
I
crazy.
think it's a lot closer than that. I wouldn't scoff at it because I think
because you're a combine guy and the bench press wasn't good and blah, blah, blah.
No, I'm not too concerned about the bench press. We've talked about it. Kenyon Green, his power doesn't come from the punch, from the upper body chest. His power comes from an absolute wagon he has on the lower half. Dude's butt is absolutely massive. He's a tree stump. That is very powerful. A very powerful tree stump.
He can also move.
Yes, he moves well. You're right. All right,
let's
continue with the mock. I think that was a good little discussion on the interior offensive lineman. So, no, I have one more question. I take that back. I got one more question. You're the Ravens. You would take Tyler Linderbaum or Kenyon Green if you had to choose one of the two for the Baltimore Ravens.
I mean, me personally, I go Linderbaum because I think he's just that. I think he was the better player.
Does it get closer, though, because of the scheme? Because of, the scheme and what they're trying to do, similar to what Tennessee Titans try to do? Does it get closer?
No, because I don't even totally get why Tyler Linderbaum isn't called a hammer. He was bullying guys around all year. Nobody could, push him around. It's he's not the biggest guy, but he plays with elite leverage and elite nastiness. So I don't.
Yeah, Tyler Linderbaum's ability, the reach blocks and get to that gap so quickly.
That's the thing but he also can push you around. It's not like he's just a Jason Kelsey center who is more of a finesse guy. He was a bully too, so I don't get what people they're just freaking out about his size. They're just ooh, he's too short. He doesn't weigh 300 pounds. He weighs 299 and a half. Who cares?
No, I'm not. I don't care about whatever weight he played at Iowa. He can play at the NFL because of his dominance. I thought it was an interesting discussion. Apparently, Dill doesn't think so. If you're a team that wants to get a little bit more downhill, would you consider Kenyon Green? Dill says no. 21, Devin Lloyd. I think they could go cornerback here. A guy like Kyrie Elam, Andrew Booth. But Devin Lloyd, he seems like a Bill Belichick guy. This is not really this was more of a predictive pick because both Dill and I have Nakobe Dean over Devin Lloyd. That could be another episode discussion. Devin Lloyd, Nakobe Dean. We're seemingly in the minority.
Christian Harris.
Oh, you think Christian Harris is in that group?
I think he's not that far.
All right, Drake London. Using the Raiders pick, you obviously trade Devonte Adams.
That's you have to go wide out.
A lot of teams haven't completely pigeonholed themselves. The Packers need to go get a wide receiver.
They're also great everywhere else, so it's not like they pigeonholed themselves by being bad. They're just an awesome team.
But it's also that wide receiver core, if they were trotting out week 1 right now, would be an absolute joke. Tyler Linderbaum, your boy to the Cardinals. I'm sure you don't have any
it's easy
with that pick.
Easy value.
Zion
Value here too, I think.
But is Zion Johnson more of a guy that you can fill in for? Go get a veteran left guard and he can just kind of fill in, and then you're not having to use a top 25 pick on an interior offensive line.
Because you already have your stud at guard.
Especially with a Treylon.
Yeah, I shouldn't have said that. That's not an easy pick. They could very easily go linebacker or Wyatt out.
Or Nakobe Dean. Yeah. Kyrie Elam to the Bills. I would love it. I think the Bills have also, not necessarily by being bad, but by just having.
You're talking this pigeonhole like it's such a bad thing. It's when the good teams do pigeonhole themselves a little bit because you're not taking Stephon Diggs.
Well, but then what if McDuffie, Booth, all those top 5 cornerbacks are gone? Then what are you doing? That's my problem.
And it's you got the nuclear sirens going. They have figured out. I don't know.
Because they don't have the ability to go best available. I don't think. If you're not signing a cornerback in free agency, which it doesn't look like it's happening, that needs to be addressed. You can't trot out Dane Jackson and Tre'Davious White. You're probably not getting back till midseason. You can't trot out Dane Jackson week 1 because he's just not going to cut it. You don't even have Levi Wallace. That cornerback room's a joke for Buffalo right now. They need to pick one at 25. They need to.
I don't see. It's not a problem, but whatever.
What is your take?
Of course they do, but that's you're acting like they've shot themselves in the foot. I mean, they're just great.
It's wow.
Maybe 7 cornerbacks go in the first round. I don't know. You end up with McCreary. It's not that bad.
They need to pick cornerback. They need to.
Yeah, obviously.
There's not a single position they could even think about passing on. Trevor Penning to the Tennessee Titans. This guy, people like
that would hurt them if they can't get into one of those top 3 guys. That kind of hurts them.
Yes,
but
Trevor Penning could play guard, but like Dill, I know Dill hates.
He's
Trevor
a guard.
Penning.
No, he is a guard. That's fine.
Would he be a good guard? Would he be a better guard than Zion Johnson?
No.
Dill is not a
Trevor Penning
player.
guy.
I want to see you go up to Trevor Penning in the street.
You can't go. Oh yeah, what am I gonna go fight him and get hammered? Whatever.
Trevor Penning would
just shooting it around on the YouTube. Let me live.
The Bucks. I love this pick. I'm a Sky Moore fan. Like I love Sky Moore. The more I watch him, the more I just think he's a Brady guy. He's gonna get
hand size.
He's got 10-inch hands but it's less about the hand size and more just like he's so buttery smooth. Like I love Sky Moore. I think Jahan Dotson could also be the pick here. But go get a guy who's gonna create separation, create easy throws for Tom Brady, who's might have a dwindling arm in his years. I probably shouldn't say that because he's actually still a stud.
And he'll just beat the Bills in the Super Bowl now, probably.
He had the fastest 10-yard split of any.
I know Sky Moore's good.
Why
don't you just have a separate episode on him and talk for hours?
Just talk Sky Moore. I might just like get a poster of him in my room.
That's the problem, is you talking my ear off.
Bernie Ryman to the Packers. More of the like David Bakhtiari years are limited. My problem with this pick is the Packers have that.
He's not win now. Yeah, he's maybe not win now. But so you also he's probably as win now as anyone on the offensive line at this.
Yes,
place.
He's the next best offensive lineman on our board for sure.
And I'm not talking just pure potential. Like I don't know.
Yeah, no, the film. But like I think Bernie Ryman can be a stud offensive tackle, but I think it might take a year or two. The Packers kind of need to put it together now with it.
But they might need to take. They might be in a spot where they need to take this shot. Like he might need a second, but like who are you gonna get? There's no one else. They might be pigeonholed into doing that too as your favorite term.
The Dolphins really just settle for the best player available, David Ojabo. I'm not too worried about the torn Achilles. It definitely hurts his stock when you're not going to be probably healthy enough to play year one, and you're going to. Well,
I think it gets a little interesting if he doesn't go early. It hurts him in the mid range because like the win now teams are definitely going to be a little bit out.
Yeah,
but if you were a team that's like, fine, we're waiting 3 years to be relevant anyway. I don't think it changes that much.
Like, say the Giants or the Seahawks loved him, and then he tore his Achilles.
Yeah, if the Seahawks were going to pick him at 9 pre-Achilles, they'd take him at 9 post-Achilles.
Yeah, but my only problem with that is, like, not having that year to be on the field and feel NFL players. Like,
you might get there at the end, no? No, probably not.
No,
he might be there at the end.
And like he's a freak. Like I'm not worried about him recovering. You saw what Cam Akers was able to do. I think David Ojabo certainly can do a similar recovery process. The dude is a dummy athlete. No doubt is going to heal very fast. He's gonna be an interesting guy. I wonder if he falls out of the first round. And like another guy who could add weight to the frame, and like because I think he needs to do that a little bit anyways. Take that redshirt year like it's a college year. Just redshirt up. Get ready for the NFL level.
Get swole.
Get a little meat on the bones.
That's fine.
A little run on Michigan, guys. The Chiefs. I love this fit. Jackson Hill, the Chiefs. It looks like
that's an easy one. If they can get him, that's easy pick.
Go get your guy. They haven't listed a cornerback, which is just
this one's pretty. Oh, sorry.
It's crazy. He's not playing cornerback.
It is stupid, but.
Andrew Booth, the Bengals, it's growing on me, and it's growing on me fast.
I think they would have. Did they give Eli Apple a year?
They did, but
not that it matters because you still want to replace him.
And you're looking at a Bengals team that, again, all the mock drafts for the last couple of months were tackle.
But they got tackle.
They go get tackle. I don't even need to think. I think that was like a no-brainer. They were going to go through free agency to get it, whether it was going to be Armstead or Lyle Collins.
Because there's nobody for them to take who'd make a difference early.
Even if Bernie's there, like I don't love the idea of trying out Bernie to go protect Joe Burrow.
I don't think their line gets dramatically better with Bernie. It does with Leal, so it's good.
But then Andrew
Booth
they need
the corner.
Way better. And like there will be a top 5 quarterback, I think, still on the board.
No, you just kind of declared that wasn't going to happen.
Even if it's a Roger McCreary, like I no, that was just a nightmare scenario. That's unfair of you to say. That was just a nightmare scenario for the Bills.
It's a strong implication, but whatever.
That was a quote that was out of context. You would get fired as a reporter for that. Yeah, the media is snakes anyways. You probably would just be fine. They'd probably give you a promotion. All right, last pick of the draft, and Kobe Dean. Steal of the draft, a ROC Boy favorite.
That'd be a dream if they could get him.
Even Christian Harris at 32 isn't out of this world.
Oh, you're coming around.
No, but like if Kobe Dean's not there.
Yeah.
Again, a separate discussion, a separate podcast. Kind of looking at the linebackers and how to manage where you're taking a linebacker. I've seen mocks where Devin Lloyd's going 8 to the Falcons, and it just makes my head blow up. But Nakobe Dean, if he's there at 32, you got to fire on him. He's a great player.
Yeah.
And again, talking about changing the culture, Nakobe Dean's going to do that in Detroit. Dan Campbell's going to love a guy like Nakobe Dean. That's a wrap on a 2022 NFL first-round mock draft from the boys. We had a couple discussions there linked in. Again, appreciate you guys all following along, watching, liking, commenting on the videos. You guys are the effing best. And we will talk to you guys. We will talk to you guys.
Hey, Drew Timmy, relax, please.
We'll talk to you guys later with another episode coming up shortly. Talk to y'all later. Peace.